Hey folks, thanks for joining the NuCreation podcast. You are hanging out with your host, Nunu. As I stated before, the summer is coming right around the corner. I'm going to gear the podcast towards the young singles and ready to mingle audience. Being that things have opened up, more people are more comfortable to go out and start dating, whatnot. I got some challenges coming your way. Do your best to stick out with me. Your life, how you treat it, how you go about it, it is super precious. So take this seriously because you matter to me and God. Here we go. Today, let's talk about cohabitation. Well, we will spend some time discussing a short definition of cohabitation, what most people believe about cohabitation, and why me as a Christian think it's a sin. Cool? What does cohabitation mean? When I looked it up on Webster or Western Dictionary, cohabitation means two people living together with fornication and sexual immorality involved. Two people who think they like each other, think they're in love, that they love each other, are moving in under the same roof and are committing sexual sin. Most people believe cohabitation or the fact of living together is not a sin. We have to remember that cohabitation in the Webster Dictionary means two people living together and are committing sexual activity. So let's just remove the sexual part out and just the living together as trying things out or as roommates so that we can save money or we can help each other out. Here's the method of that. It is like you going to a used car dealership saying you want to buy a car, but you don't know what car you want to buy, so you're going to try a few of them out. Well, the one car you drive, you're not actually buying it. You're trying it out because you want to see if it's going to be a fit for you. And then if you don't like it, you can always return it back within that policy. So most people believe, let's just give this a try, live together as premarital couple to see if we are compatible. That's very dangerous because, as you can see, it seems very little commitment versus someone who says, hey, I'm real about you. I'm here to protect your purity. I'm here to protect our future. Let's do things the right way, the godly way, the Christ way. Protect each other's heart. And believe me, there's consequences to cohabitation. It creates this strong bond that will be very hard to break when you are no longer together. It creates insecurity and fear. It also creates this self-control environment, this false expectation of having some kind of hope for the future, but you're just trying things out. There's consequences when you put yourself out there like that. And it leads to pain and longer healing and heartaches. So why I think it's a sin? It's a sin because you are setting yourself up for impurity, for constant sexual temptation, fornication, and sexual immorality. Romans, Paul wrote, and I love what he said in this one particular chapter of Romans. Paul says, if you stumble a brother or a sister, you have already sinned against God. Here's another Bible verse, Proverbs 6:27. And I love Proverbs. It's a book of wisdom. Many of us, we need wisdom. I would recommend you to read Proverbs. Proverbs 6:27 says, "Can a man scoop fire onto his lap without his clothes being burned?" Can a man scoop fire onto his lap without his clothes being burned? This means if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. Of course, it's not the matter and the argue of living together, because we just discussed that living together isn't a sin yet. But when you give it long enough and you live together long enough, it will lead to sin. It's not the wonder of if there will be consequences, only when and how drastic they will be. See, Paul, of all people in the Bible, understand that sexual temptation has increased in the church. He wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2, "Because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband." In the simplest form, Paul says, get married, do it the right way, then go and enjoy the sexual intimacy through a marriage covenant. Unfortunately, I failed in this area of cohabitation. The consequences that I had to face was lots of pain, lots of heartaches and wounds. Till this day, the past hurts. The past comes up. It gives me nightmares. This is why God wants to preserve us until the righteous time. I do not recommend cohabitation, even if it seems so good and it seems so innocent, where you both may not even enter into something sexually. But guard your heart. 2 Timothy 2:22. "So flee youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart." I am thankful Christ died, rose again, freed me, healed me from my past. Now, it is not I who live, but Christ who lives in me. When we get right with God, He will help us to get on the right path. It's not too late. Call unto the Lord. Stay tuned. I'll have more on the horizon. Till then, fear no man. Strive for Christ.